Hey everyone. So it's not quite so bright today. A little bit overcast, but the weather hasn't been too bad. Boy, did it ever rain last night though. Holy cow. Anyway, here I am. It's Monday morning, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my weekend and why I chose today's topic to be about self promotion. So this past weekend, I had an author booth at Auburn, New Hampshire's Duck Race Day. Now, the big thing at Duck Race Day is that they sell off little rubber duckies. Okay, the kind that you get at the dollar store. They're $5 each, and there's a number on them, and they chuck them all in their river. And there are hundreds of them, maybe thousands. And they float downriver, and they have to go down this little whoop, and it churns the ducks all up. So you never know who's going to win. And you can win money and you win prestige, and it's a big deal. And it's a lot of fun to watch all the duckies go down the river. And then they fish them all out. So no environment was harmed by the duckies. The day was full of wonderful food booths and people selling homemade crafts. And down the side of the library, through the library parking lot, we had Author Alley. And I had my booth set up there, which was a ton of fun. I will be posting pictures to my Facebook page. So if you want to go take a look at that, you are more than welcome to. I had a little sort of fake fire set up with my tripod and a pot. I had some bread for people. Oh, excuse me, for people to taste, and I had my books on sale. So I sold some cookbooks. I sold some of my fictional books as well, which was awesome. And so now I am in the process of figuring out all the details from that, dealing with all of the paperwork that comes from selling books in person, and so that was great. I did not sell as many books as I had hoped to. I had hoped that I would sell out, and I didn't. I didn't even come close to that. But what did happen was that my booth was right next to Hobblebush Books. Hobblebush Books is, let me read to you from their thing. Hobblebush Books is an independent press dedicated to publishing books that feature a unique voice and make a difference. We publish both literary and non-literary items. Although we publish ebooks, we are dedicated to the book as a beautiful physical object, something to hold in your hands, admire, and smell the ink while you read. And I must say, they published Dan Cesney's book, The White Mountain, and they have quite a number of books out. They do a poetry, not contest, but like they publish a poetry book each year, and they publish a short story book each year, both for New Hampshire authors and poets, so that there's a platform for that and to allow our New Hampshire people to shine, which is a wonderful thing. They have very specific submission outlines. So if you go to hobblebush.com, you can read their what they expect for people who want to submit something to them. And they also have design capabilities. So if you are looking to have a cover design done or interior and that kind of thing, they do that for a small price. And so you can get that done as well. I really liked the people I was talking to, and I loved the books that I saw that they had put out. And one of the things that happened when I was sitting there in between people coming to the booths is that I had the opportunity to talk about myself and my books. And so I showed them the cookbook, and they were very interested in that. Less so in the vampire novels, which is fine. I mean, they're an indie publisher, so the idea is they want things that are local interest, that kind of stuff. But when I mentioned the next cookbook that I'm working on, which is the Van Life cookbook, they got very excited. And I got excited because I was telling them about it. And so I think I may actually be doing a submission to them and seeing if they will publish My van life cookbook. Oh, excuse me. I'm like totally tired today. It was a heck of a weekend. So while I was at my event this weekend, I was dressed in my garb and I had on turn shoes, and turn shoes have no soles really. They're just flat. And I did that because I thought I would be sitting for most of the day, but that's not what happened. I did some shouty stuff because I'm loud and I know how to project. So I walked up and down and said, "Come down and visit us," and sort of promoted the author's alley. And I was also on my feet talking to people a lot because they wanted to see what my setup was with my little fire ring that I had out, and they wanted to talk about my clothing and my shoes and what I was doing and how you do the cooking. And so I was on my feet all day, and by the time I was done, my feet were swollen and aching, and I was a mess. So, um, it was fun though. It was a lot of fun. Um, I have come up with a title for the van life cookbook. This is, of course, tentative because they always are until they're published, but I believe we're going to call it Eat Well, Cook Small, Live Large. I'm very happy with that title, and I've been playing around with the photography that's going to be on the front cover with a montage. And so that's really exciting and it's great. Um, so when I talk about self-promotion, and I mean I've talked about this before, I talk about my books all the time, but it's important that you take the time to promote yourself. You are your most fervent promoter. Even if you are published by a huge company, um, you're the person who knows your book best. You're the person who knows you best. And you have the most interest in seeing that that work is published. And so you should take the time to talk about your work. And you can fit it into conversation. Sorry, guys. Um, in a very organic way. I mean, with a cookbook, it's a lot easier. You know, oh, what did you have for dinner? Hey, have you considered my cookbook? Um, oh, you like to cook for large groups? You'd be interested in my medieval cookbook because it talks about feasts. Oh, you like cooking for one or two? You'd probably be interested in my upcoming van book because that one is about cooking for one or two people on the go, on a single burner, in a single pot. Um, but you can do it with fictional stuff too. When you're in conversation, what was the last book you guys read? I read a vampire novel. It kind of reminded me of my own. And so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Charlene Harris. I read one of the Sookie Stackhouse books because those are my bathtub books. And I tried very hard to keep that kind of friendly feel in my own vampire books. And so my vampire books are kind of like a cross between Charlene Harris and the Dresden novels. So the snark is strong with my main character. So that's kind of how you do it. You bring up a concept and you bring it into the conversation. And I mean, yes, it's easier if you're at a library. You can say, "Oh, you like that book? You might like mine." But you can do it anywhere. You can do it while you're waiting for the bus. You can do it, however you want to. Um, and you really should, because when you promote yourself, when you're excited about your own work, other people will be too. And when you're excited about your work, you will do a better job of presenting it and putting it out there and writing it um, than if you're not at all interested in it. So that's where I'm at with self promotion. I didn't get a lot of books sold, but what I did get was a lot of interest from a publisher, from a cable TV person, which was exciting, and people who had come to some of the library Zoom talks that I did brought the books in that they had purchased so that I could sign them. And that was great because I got to talk to them and say, "Hey, what was your favorite recipe in the book? What have you made? Were there any new spices that you started using because of my book? Have you gone to Monadnock Oil and Vinegar to pick up the spices from them? Because they will get them in for you." These are all things that I can talk about and bring up, and it's so wonderful, and I love it. I'm hoping that I'll see some of you at the Fitchburg Forge-In. That's 2 weekends from now. The 18th, I'm on my own, but on the 25th, I will be at Fitchburg Riverside Park from 10 in the morning until 5 in the evening. At least some of Serenity will be with me. I'm hoping more rather than less. The spawning has occurred, new baby has arrived, so we'll see how comfortable mom and dad are if they're willing to get dressed up. I have already made little baby Viking tunic for baby. I'm so excited. So yeah, come on out and you'll see some I'm going to make a chicken stew. I don't know if Mistress Leary is going to be making anything, but we'll see. If we're lucky, she'll make a steak and ale pie. I know that's a one that's well requested. But come on out, take a look. I will be selling cookbooks and I will be signing books. So bring your books out. I will happily sign them. Talk to me about your favorite recipes. Talk to me about what you'd like to see if you're interested in a van life and tiny living cookbook. What do you want to see? What do you want to learn? I've got a lineup on how to make just 2 cookies. Because if you're living in a van, you don't need more than 2 cookies, right? Um, I'm trying to look at very small, very compact recipes that are easy to make, that are single burner, because a lot of van life have the little compact butane stoves or the 2-burner propane. You don't have room to do, 5 things, and you don't have an oven, you don't have all the modern conveniences. You probably don't have a stand mixer in your van, or a way to run one even if you had. So let's look at the different things that can be done in the tiny space to make your cooking both exciting and nutritious and healthy, but also fun and give you those comfort carbs occasionally. So you guys have yourself a great week. I will see you on next Monday. And, drink the water, eat the food, and don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? I love you guys. Bye.